Welcome to the Crowned Medium, where Her Highness Lorenda Carr delivers intuitive clarity, messages from Spirit, and tools to elevate your spiritual journey.
Good morning. Hello, hello. Just getting started here. Good morning. Hello, Shelley. Good morning. And I see Lucas is in here. Hello, hello, Lucas. Hello, Shelley. And Yessie. Yessie, I miss you. Just saying. How's everybody doing? Good morning. All right. So we are getting started, getting the technology moving, doing all the things that we like to do. How's everybody doing? I know. Are you back yet? Are you back yet, Yessie? What's happening? Talk to me. Also, why is my thing is not thinging? Good morning, Luna Water. How are you? Oh my gosh, it's like summer in Switzerland. That's crazy. I didn't know that it got hot there, if I'm being honest. Had no idea. All right, we're going to get rolling here. How's everybody doing? What are you guys up to? Anything exciting going on? All right, got my little clicker going. Let's tap the screen, you guys. So hello, my name is Lorenda Carr. Good morning, Lillian. How are you? Good morning. Show of hands, who's new here? Who's new here today? If you're new to my channel, new to my show. Good to see everybody. Yessie's new. Yessie's like, me. Hello, welcome in. Good morning, Amy. Hello. Oh, bummer, Lillian. No fun working. So today's going to be a shorter day for me because my mom is coming up. So my mom's going to be here soon. Well, fairly soon. So I'm probably going to be cutting it short today. Good morning, Paula. Hello. My mom said she's trying her best to make it to my house. So when my mom gives me the cue on Instagram that she's on her way, then we'll know. We'll have a better timeline. So good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? I mean, I think energetically we should be doing okay. We don't have, thank you, Paula. Thank you. I think energetically we're doing okay. We don't have a full moon right now. We're well out of that phase. We do not have Mercury retrograde happening. I feel like we should, in theory, be doing okay. And thank you very much for being part of my team. It is Mom Day. And you know what's crazy is I'm on spring break from the dance studio this week. I've been busier this week than I am any other week. I have no vacation plans. We have no plans. I've just been working nonstop. And not even studio stuff. It's all like spiritual biz things, all good things, but also, and spring is springing. Yes, I actually had given thought to actually going live from the deck this morning, but I didn't have time to, by the time I realized how warm it is outside, I didn't have time to haul everything upstairs. So we're just here stressing over your daughter's 16th birthday. Oh my gosh. Well, happy birthing day, Paula. And good morning, Fawn Bounds. Hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. So yes, I love some warm weather. Love me the warm weather. I do not do well with cold. I feel like from January to March is when my face ages the most. I feel like my body ages, everything ages. But the problem is it doesn't get better in April. It's just like, oh, well, this is my new normal. So I have aged in this 3 months, and this is what we're doing now. Thank God for TikTok filters and for Zoom filters and for StreamYard filters, all the things. Thank goodness for filters. All right. What do y'all have going on? Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Linda. Hello. Soon to be summer in Texas. Oh, thank you for being part of my team. Thank you guys. Keep tapping. Please share out the live. Do all the things. Let's get to 100 shares Listen, I'm doing my part. I've got my clicker on over here, from my backup account. I'm doing my part. Let's see what you guys can do. Help me out with tapping and sharing and all the good things. I was thinking today we could talk about kind of the realities of a spiritual awakening. What does an actual spiritual awakening look like? Everybody thinks it's just so la and peaceful and an awakening. Yeah. Good morning. Thank you, Megan. This is my dragon crown. Oh, thank you, Lucas. Lucas says I look young. Thank you very much. And he knows me in person, so I guess he can say that. Although Lucas at one point did see my pictures, my professional pictures that were not altered, and was like, that doesn't look like you. It does. It is me. Jeez. Transformation and action. Yes. So how many of you feel like you've gone through a spiritual awakening? And that can look different for everybody. Yes, he says, hi, Lucas. And Lucas, you can say hi to her. She's in the chat right there with you in Instagram. Oh, thanks, Ashley. Also, hi, Ashley. Like I said, Ashley, we got filters are amazing. Anybody else wishes we could just walk around with a filter on our face? Like what I look like in my mind is what I see on TikTok. But I know the reality is, even my husband at one point was like, people are going to meet you and they're not going to know it's you because you have so many filters. I'm like, listen, I don't need your sass. Good morning, Ermi. Hello. Make sure you guys are following Ermi. She's an amazing medium. Like amazing. And Jen, hello. Good morning, Jen. Jen Clark's another one to make sure to follow. We are getting ready to talk about that spiritual awakening. Yeah, I know. The filters are the best, man. They make us feel good about ourselves and be like, sure, that's how the world sees us. This is exactly what I look like. Now, I will say I'm having good hair today. I think a spiritual awakening can be very turbulent and gradual with progress and setbacks. Absolutely, Brian, it can be. I think some people are under this illusion that you wake up one day and you have your awakening. I don't know that that's true. I feel like mine was over many years and many lessons, and Spirit was there to help coach me through it. There are some people that will go through a major life event. Yes, Jen. Yeah, and you've talked about yours too. It happened for some people. It just happens over many years, and it's just that gradual understanding of like, oh, just like the sunrise. The sun doesn't just pop up in the morning, although that'd be funny. Like it's like cartoon. What was that cartoon back in the day on PBS? Lunette the Clown, where the sun would just go, boom. Yes, he's Hot Mess Express. Good morning, Lee. Dude, I was thinking about you yesterday. I almost texted you and then I got sidetracked. Sorry. How are you? I miss you. I miss going live with you. We need to chat soon. I miss you. I need some of your Lee and Tony energy. Good. So the big comfy couch. Yes, Ashley. Yes. Lee. So yes, the big comfy couch. So like it would be dark and then all of a sudden, boom. And you have been like on fire, liking all of my videos, reposting all of my videos. Girl, thank you so much for engaging in my content. I cannot express enough how much I appreciate you doing that. And also, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're tapping the screen, doing the things. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure like on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, you can do the same thing. You can tap the screen, tap the hearts, send the engagement. So it gets out in the algorithms and all that stuff. And I'm terrible at knowing what things to and not to say. Carrie's always on me. She's like, girl, you have to play the game. I'm like, I don't want to. I am the game. Is that bad? Hi, Ladora. Good morning. Good morning. So we're talking about spiritual awakenings. What does that look like? And I know people who go through a major life event and then suddenly, I know it is big Leo energy. Suddenly they have awareness. Suddenly they hear spirit. Suddenly, for whatever reason, there's been a shift in their awareness, shift in their consciousness, shift in a physical, maybe something happened to them physically that has caused them to shift into an awareness or to be more open to receiving spirit. So how many of you, show of hands, how many of you feel like you've gone through a spiritual awakening, whether that is gradual or it was like a bam. One of my really good friends has had like 3 NDEs. Okay, Megan's had an NDE in June, and it definitely made me more aware. And now, okay, so Megan, let me ask you this. Do you feel, because I've not had any kind of experience like that, thank you, I'm not looking to, would you say whatever happened with you made you go, oh, I've always believed in this, but I wasn't sure, but now it solidifies? Or was it, oh, I have no choice? Does that make sense? Did you already have a belief set in place? I guess is what I'm asking. And then the NDE made you see things differently? I'm always fascinated by people who have gone through that. If you've gone through any kind of NDE, do you guys know what NDE is? NDE is, I had a huge fear of unaliving, and that made me have so much peace. Now, I'd like to think I actually have peace, and I get that now that I've done a past life regression numerous times, and I've experienced death in that way through hypnosis, and I've experienced a transition. I am no longer afraid of it. So I'm wondering if that experience as the NDE, and I'd be fascinated to know more about it. It was a beautiful thing I experienced. I know there is the other side. I love that for you, Megan. I don't love that you had to go through it. I don't love that part for you. But I love that it changed and shifted for you. Regina, there's my rock star. It's less the fear of the death, more the fear of the impact that it would have on my people. I was just getting ready to say that, Jen. I have more, it's not so much what's going to happen to me. I'm like, well, I feel like I got this. Where the people around me, I don't know that they don't believe the way that I do. I feel they do, but don't. So I'd be more concerned about their grief, about how they would function. I'm fully aware that life would 100% go on without me and probably be a little less chaotic. In a sense, I needed it. Coming back to my body with the rush of human emotions was the scary part. Oh, interesting. That, you know what? That does in a weird way make sense. It's our consciousness, our feeling, our incarnation here. All of a sudden we have all those human things coming back, where if our spirit's on the other side, we're like, whoop, oh, we're home, we're good. So that does make sense, Megan. Thank you for sharing that. It's my kids. Some of them, oh, thank you so much, Rosemary. Also, good morning, Rosemary. I hope you're feeling better this morning. I've missed you. I don't like this whole you going MIA for 24 hours on me. Let's not do that anymore. I was about to come find you in Michigan. I'm just saying. Like, hi, I'm here making sure you're alive because you didn't answer my text for 24 hours. So, and yes, and also hi, Ladora, over in the YouTubes. Totally got sidetracked. Anyway, Megan, I can see how that would be a thing, that flood of emotions, as you return into your human consciousness. Good morning, Tina. Good morning. So, oh, thank you. Having just that, again, thank goodness I've not experienced NDEs. I've only experienced death as the transition from spirit or from human to spirit through hypnosis. And the crazy thing is I know what I experienced was real because I could never have imagined what I experienced. Does that make sense? I just could not imagine. I couldn't wrap my mind around what I experienced, my conscious mind. So I knew that what I experienced in the hypnosis had to have been real. It wasn't my subconscious is trying to show me things. But I no longer have a fear of death, and that consumed my life daily. There is eternity. I love that for you, Megan. And I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. As a medium, I feel one of my jobs is, if I'm going to be given this opportunity to share spirit and to share knowledge, is to have, one of my jobs is to, one, give spirit a voice, but also to prove the continuity of life, right? And thank you, April. Good morning, Gigi. All my people are in here. I'm so happy to see all of you. So good to see everybody in here. And I've got all kinds of people. I've got 2 whole people. I think it's probably Lucas and my mom over on Instagram and everything. Hey, make sure you guys are following all my channels just in case. So I find that if you have a fear of unaliving, if there are people that truly feel that in their soul, they are terrified to leave this earth plane. I actually do highly recommend not an NDE, like what poor Megan went through and experienced, but I highly recommend doing a past life regression. Also, when y'all drink it, I got my retro vibe. It's harder for those left behind than for us to experience. Yes. Can you please assist me with trying to connect to spirit? I mean, you can sign up. I have a class that I teach people how to do that. It's, my next class is April 29th. You can go to my website, check it out. I teach people how to do that. Because technically, you don't need a medium to talk to your loved ones. Y'all know that, right? You don't need a medium to talk to loved ones. You can actually do it yourself. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. After that, I read a book called Journey of the Souls by Michael Newton, and it explained what I saw. Oh, I love that. Jen, she knows. Ermi knows. Again, make sure you guys are following the 2 of them. And for those of you on watching from Facebook world and YouTube world, I'm pointing to my phone because I've got 2 of my favorite mediums are in the house. You know what's crazy is I don't know that I've read that book. Not that I don't know. I haven't read that book. Good morning, Christy. Good morning. Hello, welcome in. And yes, Roxanne, you make a good point. No, you don't need a medium, but the valuation is beautiful. Agreed. Especially when, good morning, Kyles. Hello. So especially when we are amongst, like, in the throes of grief, when we are truly missing people in our lives, it can be very difficult for us to hear the signs. You know, what is that? Oh, it's my dryer. I'm like, why do I hear music off in the distance? And I've got an angry bird outside that keeps hitting my window. Do you think that's spirit? Wait, hold on. Do any of you, okay, I got to ask. I have to ask. It's just also like nesting season for these birds. And I've got a bunch of Colorado spruces outside, so they're all hateful. I keep hearing there's this robin keeps coming up to my window out here. I can't see it from here, but I can hear him now hitting the window. Anybody else does anybody here have, like, get a sign from their loved one that is a robin? I know, Rosemary. You're like, duh, Rockin' Robin. Bump, Okay, that's funny. Oh my gosh, it just keeps hitting. Like it keeps hitting the window. Cardinals for you. Yeah. So Kyle's is are Robin's a sign for you? Or that song, Rockin' Robin? You did about 10 minutes ago. Wow. Robins and Cardinals. You have a blue one that is always in your yard. Interesting. There's a robin that every time I walk past my car comes flying out for me at that time. Oh no. Grief is what led me to finding spiritual. Okay. Turtle dove that nests on my porch every year. And they're so, I always think it's my grandma. I have a funny story. I told a story about that last week. I actually had a turtle dove that was my husband's grandmother came to visit. Red woodpecker out front. Oh, that's crazy. I know. That's the thing about this robin is it keeps, oh my God. Can you guys hear that? You may not be able to hear it. It literally sounds like it's like hitting my window. Oh, it might be for me. Can you hear? Yeah, you can hear it. It's loud. We might go on an adventure. I can't take my whole laptop, but we might have to go on an adventure. You guys on you all here probably cannot hear it because I've got a sound controlling mic. So you probably can't hear the background noise, but you guys I'm sure can on TikTok because let's see if it keeps doing it. Field trip. I know, right? And every time I come downstairs, this robin like gets in the window and like hops from window to window, following me along. I'm like, dude, I'm just going into the wine room. Nobody's coming for your babies. Nobody's going to be doing anything. I'm just minding my business over here. Was doing that in your bedroom window again right now. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm going to go check it out. What do we go? Let's go on. I'll be right back to those of you in Facebook, YouTube world. We're gonna field trip this. Hold on here. Well, you guys get to see my house. Let's flip the camera. Maybe flip the camera. All right. Let's see what's in here. It will just keep sitting. Oh, there he is. Just chill. Oh, now he's gonna fly away. Oh, now I can do that too. Oh, there he is. There's two of them out here. Oh, you know what? They're probably fighting. That's probably why. They're being all hateful. But now they're gonna be all like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." No, you're talking about. What are you talking about? But also, it looks like they've been like pecking at my window. That's crazy. My window. Well, now they're just being all coy. They're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. So we're gonna go back to the room. Also, you guys see my collection of Jamie Fraser. They are trying to get my attention, so they just need to stop it because I don't have to clean my windows. Is that bad? Is that bad? All right. All this chaos. Let's put you back. Birds just don't like you. I bet they do. They just chase me all day. See, that's just weird. I think that's just weird. I think I'd be upset. I think I'd be like, listen, you're about to be lunch, turkey Tom. I mean, chasing me. Hello, Red. Good morning. Good morning. So anyway, we were talking about spiritual awakenings. And then so Megan was sharing her NDE story a bit and how sometimes, things like that can trigger a spiritual awakening. And sometimes it's just a gradual thing. It doesn't help my neighbor throw seeds out to feed them. I have to run from my car. Listen, I'd be talking to your neighbor and be like, can you find a different way to feed them? Well, she didn't really tell the story, Red. She was just saying that she had an NDE and that that there was just such a sense of peace when she was on the other side, and how a lot of times there are people who will be much more aware and no longer afraid of being unalived. Yeah. Being of crossing over, that when things like that happen, they know they come back for a reason. They know that they have more to do here, and that someday when it is their time, they know where they're going to go now. There is no huge fear of death. I mean, as we know, and it's almost tax time, friends, there's two things certain: death and taxes, right? I just have to talk and I know I'm heard. Yeah, exactly, Megan. So the interesting thing is, with what I do as a medium, I try to give spirit a voice, help people understand that their loved ones are okay. They're not stuck anywhere. And by God, they're not angry. Do you know how many times I've had people say that they know that their loved one is angry because their sibling is doing something terrible? I'm like, they're not. They're sad for you that you're going through this, but they're not angry. They're not stuck. They come from a very loving, and I bet, Megan, I bet you can attest to that. I bet you can say those anger, human emotions, aren't there. That's not what you experience on the other side. And again, through the hypnosis, through the different experiences I've had, even as a medium, it brings a calm understanding that there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. It was only there when I came back to my meat suit. It was a rush of every emotion. Yes, and emotions like that, fear, anger, are strictly human emotions. Right? That's not true. My dog gets scared of things. It gets protective of things, but they're earthbound type emotions. People on the other side just don't exist that way. That's not how our loved ones exist. Now, that being said, I do believe that there are entities on the other side that all have different attitudes, different energies, but they're not the same as a human emotion. My grief became lighter. It will never go away, but I have peace knowing they're in a beautiful place. Absolutely, Megan. And I think that's where we get, maybe seeing a medium is helpful, is if you truly don't understand that and you fear what's happened to your loved ones on the other side. My job as a medium is not to just make you addicted to coming to me and communicating with your loved ones, but to teach you and help you understand that they are okay and that you can communicate with them. You can initiate exchanges with them. So even though they're not going to materialize right in front of you. I mean, they might. I mean, I had something materialize in my wine room last week, right live during the show. That was insane. And that was pretty wild, actually. But how do we line it up to get those signs? And if you're a person who's really, really grieving, and really having a hard time with the loss of a loved one, maybe a medium can help you, but a good medium will also teach you how to find and communicate with them. And there is a book called Signs. Daggone it. Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson, Dr. Laura Lynn Jackson, that I highly recommend. I find relief feeling my son doesn't have anger to the person who took his life. Wish I could. Oh, strictly human emotion. It's okay for, you know what, Heidi? You have my permission to be angry. And Ashley, you will get there. My mama in the chat, everybody say hi, Mom, says, every spring Dad would sing, spring has sprung, the grass has risen. I wonder where the birdies, or the grass has riz. I Wonder where the birdies is. Oh my goodness. Why haven't I heard this? I see robins in our yard all the time. Cardinals and butterflies. That's so cool. It's probably grandma and grandpa out there like beating up on the window. They'll be like, get up here. Good morning, Prince Chris. That's my ex-husband's name. Oh goodness, I remember. Yep. Roxanne says hi, Mom and Lucas. Helena Medium says hello. Eagles can also be Ashley, that used to dance with Jessica, is in the house too. Eagles can also be a sign for a loved one. That's just the thing. Anything can be a sign, but you can assign it. You can assign that external sign. Also important to have people in your circle who support your journey. Absolutely, Megan. Absolutely. So, hi, Rafi. Hello. Welcome in. Make sure you guys are following me, doing the things. Make sure you're doing all the things, tapping, sharing. I only see 38 shares, friends. My mama says, hi, everyone. Everyone, enjoy your day. Ego gets in the way. Ego sounds like it can be self-centeredness, but ego can just be our humanness, right? Our humanness gets in the way. What have I missed? I know birds, owls, and deers are for me. So we were just talking about a spiritual awakening and how some people go through a spiritual awakening over a long period of time. And some people just wake up one day, or there's an event that happens that makes them go through their awakening. I have a hair. Where'd that come from? And, we all have different journeys that way. Imagine the people that never, ever, ever go through it. Imagine the people that never believe in anything. Oh God, can you imagine being their spirit guides? Can you imagine being the spirit team for people who don't believe in anything? Just getting them to the other side. That'd be crazy. I know that should get you to they're miserable. I feel like it takes a certain level of mastery in spirit guide world to be able to take on a human that's like, all right, listen, I'm going to go in, not believe in anything my entire existence. Good luck. Go team. Look, Frank. You stop talking nonsense. Can you please tell me if my friend who unfriended me will ever be my friend again? I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't know if you've read the room or not, but I'm not a fast food drive-through medium. Yeah. Except here's the thing, Frank. This is free. Money grabbing. Can we taunt Frank? I'm in my taunting era. That's how my husband is when I try to talk to him about mediums. He thinks you shouldn't mess. And, I think Frank is out of here. Frank is that person where the spirit, what's funny, Megan, is yes. So Frank and the TikTok came in and said, I'm talking nonsense. I'm money grabbing. This is free. Frank is the perfect example of exactly what I was just talking about. Literally the perfect example of what we were just talking about. That person who doesn't believe in anything and or has a very specific belief set that does not align with anything outside of what he's going to believe, period. And that's his journey. And you're right, Megan's like, Spirit had to show you someone. And so Spirit was like, hang on, we got a guy. Hold on, we got a guy. And I show up on that guy's FYP. I think that's hysterical, actually. Talk about timing. Go, Spirit, go. I try to talk to my hubby about it, and he tells me to hush up, but he believes that's fine. That's funny. I think my husband is proof it's not nonsense. I don't have to prove shit to you, Frank. I don't have to prove shit. I'm just saying. Either you believe or you don't. And anyone who has worked with me, it's the same Frank. So apparently he only got muted for like 5 seconds. Frank, of all the BS going on in the world, I don't think Lorinda's the problem. Thank you, Shelly. I'm not the problem here. I know. It was like he was like that bad penny. I'm picturing his guide telling your guide, sorry, we got a rogue one. Ladora, I adore you. And exactly, Frank could have learned something. He could have just come in and said and been like, maybe I should pay attention. There are people who refuse to learn because here's the thing. Here's the other thing too. I've got a video about this in my drafts that I need to post, but I made it like a month ago and I keep thinking, oh, well, it's old now. It's still timeless. Sometimes we don't go on a healing journey. Sometimes we intentionally don't open our eyes to other possibilities outside of what we've learned. Because if we did, that means we'd have to look at our own families, our own life, our own experience, our own parents, our own siblings, our own friends, our mentors that may have taught us one way. And the reality is when you go through, this is part of the, going back to what I was going to talk about today, the reality of a spiritual awakening is realizing, having to deconstruct what you've been told, first of all, and then also realizing the people you looked up to may not have known anything. You know, exactly. Ermi says, yep, some people will transition that never wake up. They don't wake up. But you know what? Maybe their experience here, maybe they chose to come in and be the problem. Maybe we all agreed to it. Maybe Frank was my soulmate and at one, or a soul connection to me on the other side. And he was like, I got an idea. So around April 9th, 2026, I'm just going to pop in when you're doing this thing called TikTok. You're going to be on camera. I'm going to go in and I'm going to prompt a conversation and people are going to learn from it in just the right time. So his soul knew what was happening. I mean, that might be a stretch, but but maybe his goal is to be the problem. Do you ever meet people like that where you're like, wow, you came here to be a problem? To literally everybody. Maybe he was sent earthbound. Oh, shoot, it went too fast. Sent earthbound to discover that. He's still learning. Absolutely. So, and guess what? He also was put in my path probably to learn that he doesn't get to talk to everybody that way. He got a little slap on the hand with that one. He's certainly not going to talk that way to me. And then my mods let him get away with it. They were all like, oh, that's cute. The problem is always the one needing help. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Rosemary, yeah, no. But people like Frank are here to teach us, right? Unless you have the feelings, I think people just don't believe. I agree. And I think that we are also programmed. You know, I had Meredith Willits on a few months back, and she made a really good point. She goes, I don't know that I've ever had an original thought in my entire life. Everything I know is from other things I've learned. One we meet is without value on our journey. Oh, I agree. Rosemary. No one we meet is without value. He sounds like one that should stand on the road with a sign that says, kick me for pleasure. That's amazing. Even Frank. That's right. Even Frank had purpose. And you know what? Guess what? I was a lesson for Frank today, that you don't get to talk to people that way and not get called out on it. I'm not going to, how many people, I wonder, let's have a deep dive for a sidebar deep dive. I wonder how many people in Frank's life he has destroyed because he just comes in and tells them what they're going to do and how they're going to believe, and his way is the only way, and his blah, 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 blah. Right? And how many opportunities has he missed? He just, Gigi just came for the fries. Girlfriend, I got them. I got the fries. He can do that to strangers in a room. Then I couldn't imagine the people he knows. Exactly. Oh my God. Speaking of French fries, Sunshine, would you like fries with that? Do I look like a drive-through medium? Read the room, friend. And also, I have a pretty strict rule that you'll get muted for like 30 seconds to get rid of your comment, because I don't want my scammers to come find you. Please do not put if you'd read my intro, you would know that. Okay. You're welcome to come hang out. We are talking about spiritual awakenings today. We're talking about how we are lessons for people in this lifetime. So you are welcome to hang out. You're welcome to follow me. You put extra salt on those fries today. I did, didn't I, Ladora? You saw that. Feel a little salty, a little extra salt. Oh, thank you, Spicy Pisces. Hello, my friend. How are you? So you missed it. We had Frank. Frank came in and had opinions. It sure is salty up in here. I just don't understand. I still understand people who would you walk into Target and go, "Hi, am I pregnant?" See if anybody answers. They'd be like, "Go to aisle 9 in the pharmacy. Get yourself a test. Don't ask us. There's resources for that." Does my boyfriend love me? I don't know. Sounds like a personal problem. Yeah. It's just seasoning. Yes, we are all just enjoying the chat. I know. Think about it. Would you walk into Target and scream your business? Or anywhere? Pretty sure Mars is moving into Aries too, the planet of aggression moving into a fire sign. Oh, well, that might explain a lot, Michelle, actually. I kicked off the whole day with, I'm pretty sure the planet, everything is pretty subtle right now in the energy. Apparently not. Some people would not, me, but some people, yeah, some people, not you. Okay, some people would, not you, but some people do. Yes. Oh, that's weird. Somebody just came in named Christopher David. That's like my ex-husband's name. That's weird. That'd be weird if he popped in and was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I know you. We were married once." Or into someone's house that now I feel like this is just visiting your space. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And hey, how's it going? Going well, thanks. How are you, man cave? I'm trying to listen, but hubby's vacuuming, but I'm not complaining. No, do not complain. I'll do sign language so you can understand what I'm saying. So anyway, just so you all know, I will never reach out to you. If you get a DM that looks like me, people create in real time, will steal my pictures, will create accounts, and then reach out, pretending to be me, asking for a reading. Please don't. I'm never going to do that. One, I'm too lazy. I'm just, and it's also unethical. I walk in and say, "I'm hungry," and go raid your fridge. Right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine just walking into somebody's house and be like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm hungry." Strangers. But you left your door open, so you clearly want me to come eat your food. So if I'm on live, I clearly want you to ask me to give you a free reading. It's a really good. Can you imagine? Or just walk in and take a nap in your bed. Shoes and all. Yep. That would be hilarious. Be like, "So how's it going? Are we Goldilocksing it today? What's happening here?" Take a shower. Just come in and be like, "Hey, you don't mind, do you? Your door was open." So, they're like, "If it's free, it's for me." That's right. I wouldn't even walk into a friend's house and say, "Feed me." I know, right? But it's amazing how many people do. Now, in their defense, there are readers and mediums on the internet that invite that and that will choose based on your, like, they will choose the question to answer. Try on your crowns and play with you. That's a bit far. We're not doing that. Regina B. That's that will get you transitioned to the other side faster than you can blink. Being desperate also shows I don't think you're ready and open enough. Bam, bam, bam. Exactly, Megan. When you're that desperate for the answers in those ways that you're willing just to walk in and shout your business to a bunch of strangers in hopes of getting attention, that's a whole other level of needing therapy and needing something that I, as a medium, am not equipped to do. I'm not a therapist, right? I'm here to help give spirit a voice, to help connect you to the other side, to help empower you. I thought too, y'all go nap. I'm trying on crowns. Thank you. Thank you very much. So just make sure you guys are understanding that I'm not going to reach out to you. And before you go dropping your questions for people in a chat, read the room. Make sure that's what the medium is doing. Again, there are mediums that do that, and it doesn't mean they're not legit. Okay, I have seen really great mediums do cold readings or go direct in the chat, and that is perfectly fine. However, read the room. Some of them charge for that, and they usually have like a box like what I've got going on up here. Like there's usually like a little box in the chat that'll say, you know, readings are not free. They cost da, da, da. Read the room. That's all I'm saying. Read the room. So back to our conversation about spiritual awakenings, right? And thank you all for the gifts. I do appreciate you guys more than you know. Like I truly appreciate all of you. So the reality, we were just crossing into the conversation about the reality of a spiritual awakening, of realizing that things may not be what you always thought they were. Maybe what your parents taught you or your grandparents or your mentors taught you, and you fully believed because you believed in them. You fully believed what you were being told. And there was evidence in your mind, right? Or you just really, truly had faith in what they were saying. You looked up to them. Having to deconstruct that and deep dive that, and then understand your role and maybe how you believe, not only believed it, but implemented all that on other people. Start seeing the aftermath of what you caused as a result of believing other people. Does that all make sense? Like that, it's a whole deep dive. So this is why a lot of times people will say, yeah, my spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul happened, because you start realizing and deconstructing that negative impact that maybe you had, that you thought you were helping. You really thought you were doing the right thing. You know, energy is never destroyed, only transferable. Absolutely. So how do you do that? And then also there's that going a little even further into that. When I look at past life regression and understanding purpose, maybe I was meant to believe a certain belief set and impact others in a certain way because that's what their journey required, even though my life ended up pivoting. I can always go back and say, gosh, wow, yeah, sorry about that. Accountability is part of good experience of a spiritual awakening. And, you know, maybe that's what they needed you to be a certain way. And that's okay. You know, and if you've somewhere along the line hurt someone, it's important to say, I am sorry. There's power in that, by the way. Being humble enough to actually apologize, even if it wasn't intentional, just genuinely apologizing. What made me go into my higher self, honestly, it was through learning hypnosis. I did like a little past life regression and then went into my own and learned how to do hypnosis. But my spiritual awakening came way earlier. Mine was very gradual. Spirit told me through Stevie Nicks' Gypsy, to the gypsy that remains, faces freedom with a little fear. I have no fear. I have only love. So I work to transmute fear into love to help awaken. Absolutely, Brian. You know, I feel like we could all appreciate Stevie Nicks a little more. Not just for her amazing music, and her lyrics, but kind of what she does. She's a little witchy, a little psychic. She could probably bust out, and she probably does readings on the side. I'm telling you, she probably does. So, I forgot where I was going with all that. Anyway, I find that a lot of people will avoid, or they might even, this is the other thing. I've watched in real time on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on like watching people read live. I have watched people in real time crash out, not to be seen again for a few months. They will crash out because they are triggered, because they think, oh my gosh, I have this gift. I can talk to people. I can do readings. They go into, I know, right, Roxanne? Squirrel. Where is she? There she is. They start launching into readings because they can connect, not having done the work, not having dealt with their trauma, not having gone to therapy, not having dealt with anything. And then you see them get triggered in a reading by someone else's trauma, by someone else's experience. And all of a sudden they're triggered and realizing, oh my gosh, this is what happened to me. And and then you see them spiral. I literally have watched that happen in real time, specifically on TikTok, because everyone thinks that they can be a medium on TikTok. Yeah. Okay. So Megan, you've seen it too. Yeah. And development is very, very important, because I find that especially if you are a natural born medium, if we're all natural born, but if you are a person who has a lot stronger gifts naturally, that is even more important, to find yourself a mentor, find yourself someone who knows what to do with that. Thank you, Mr. Boone. Because if not, you're just going to jump in. If you think you're just going to jump into this and start healing people and helping people because God gave you this gift, but all you're doing in return, you're actually harming yourself and others. If you haven't done the work, if you have not processed your own trauma, if you've not processed your own lifetime of experiences, you're actually going to be doing more harm. It is, Lisa. It's been my Thursday show for almost a whole hour now. Can you believe it? And thank you. I'm glad you like the podcast, Mystic. So yeah, just so you all know, I do a podcast. They would instantly know I was fake. Absolutely no way I could even come up with the words. I love it. Thank you, Megan. Thanks. I appreciate that. But I think it's good morning, Scarlett. I think it's important and this is why it's also important to find, when you're looking for a medium, watch them if you can. Or if someone is recommending a medium that's not on social media, they don't have videos necessarily or recordings for you to listen to. But if someone recommends them, just say, okay, when they got to hard parts in your life, how do they talk to you? How do they deal with it? Ask those kind of questions. I'm glad you do this. Keeps me in a good place and something joy. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. So well-developed, well-trained mediums, doing even psychic readings, just doing psychic and cards. It's super important to make sure that the people that you're dealing with have done the work themselves. That is part of an awakening, of a spiritual awakening is understanding the work that you have to do yourself, and not allowing your own trauma to interfere. Now, the beautiful thing is I know in my own experiences, there are people that will come to me, and this is why I say it's important, that will come to me, and for privacy purposes, spirit doesn't show me their stuff. Spirit will show me my experiences. So, and I would be vibrationally in alignment with people like that. So it would make sense for them to come to me, right? So maybe I had, okay, I'll just use like I had dad trauma, right? Trauma with my dad. Had I not processed that, maybe the next time a person comes up and sits down, I'm shown that. I'm not shown their dad. I'm not shown their stuff going on. I'm shown my situation. If as a healed person, I go, would you understand issues with your dad in regards to da, 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 da? And they're going to go, oh my God, yes. How'd you know that? It's not that I'm seeing them. I'm seeing my own experiences. Spirit is showing me my own Rolodex of experiences to get me to say certain things, to get me to say certain words. An unhealed medium can have those images come in and be triggered for a downward spiral. So it's important. That's why it's important as you go through an awakening that before you just go, oh my goodness, look, I'm psychic now, just start reading for people. Woo, girl, that's the awakening itself is like this much of the process. Yeah. Right? Regina, you understand this. You get this. You've been in development long enough and you've watched enough people and dealt with enough people. You get it. People need support during awakening. Yes. And that is also the other thing. Find yourself a mentor, find yourself another student. If you're one of my students, okay, if you take my all-level development class regularly, or if you're one of my mentees, you have access to something that's like a private Facebook group. It is a great way for people to connect. I encourage my students to talk to one another, because if something is happening in their life as they're developing, I'm trying really hard to create a support system, because even if I can't be there all the time, I know that other students can be, right? This is so interesting and educational. I'm so in awe of the talent. Oh, thank you very much. Chakra. What about chakra blocks? How do you unblock them? Do you believe in that? Oh, of course I do. I actually, I see chakra blockages all the time through multidimensional hypnosis, channeling. I see it through past life regression. It's usually energetic interruption, and you could clear it. I 100% believe in that, because they're energy points. Energy is energy is energy. So we all have this center energy. And then there's also all kinds of other chakra points too, energetic points. It's not just the 7. So yeah, I do believe that when things can be out of alignment, that we can start as a starting point. Chakras can be a good starting point energetically. We are energy. We are energy. Everything is energy, right? Everything was imagined and brought into existence, starting with the imagination. Chakra blocks. So the chakras are your energy centers. If you do like a quick Google search, you'll see some really good information out there on chakras. I'm told that you had heart and root block. That's actually pretty common, believe it or not. It's like the root is all about safety, and in order for you to feel safe enough to love freely and to give your emotions freely, you have to feel safe. So those two go hand in hand quite a bit. I'm no expert on chakras, but that's what I've learned. Ooh, I got a whoosh just then. Interesting. Thanks, Jesse. Yes, I do. I actually do clearings like that. 100% things from a past life can affect this life. Sure can. Because there's not really past. It's happening everywhere all at once, right? What do you call I feel a joke coming on, Ladora. What do I call a fake Reiki worker? I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me though. So, yeah, I'm a believer in the chakras and energetic centers and all that kind of stuff. And I do believe that it can happen. A chakra con. But good morning, Lace. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. And make sure I'm still not to 100 shares on TikTok yet, friends. So make sure you guys are sharing this out. Chakra con. That's Chakra con. Chakra con. Uh-oh. We have another Frank. I'm paying $8,000 to the first 5 people. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. It's another Frank. You guys over in the other world over here over here, we have another Frank. This is hysterical. You still have a lot to learn. Oh, thank you, Lace. Block. Okay, so can a block affect not being able to settle into meditation? It can. It can. I know. Bye, Felicia. It can affect lots of things. Yeah, just spirit again, validating. Absolutely. Absolutely. But using Franks. I know. You know what that is? It's because I should be in France right now and I'm not. 1 year ago today, I was in France. I was in Bordeaux, France 1 year ago. And guess where I'm not right now? That makes me sad. I know. I was in, well, hello, Lolly. Nice to meet you from Texas. Comes in 3s. They say there'll be another one. Frank, watch. Oh, yeah. All right. Listen, let's keep an eye out for the next Frank. See if we can summon another Frank that's salty. Or maybe the third one will be nice and just say hi. Never know. I saw a video comparing California to France. San Diego looks somewhat like France geography. Oh, I hadn't even. That was cool. Thank you, Sean. Oh my gosh. Thanks for that. That was awesome. Block on ready. Yes, he's like, bring on another one. That was a clown boogie. That was cool. I've never seen that one. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. So I can't wait to see if a Frank comes in. Like now I'm willing it to happen. Another smack talker. So we're all just like watching the screen. Nobody's saying anything. I don't need to go yet. My mom's not here yet. When she gets here, all the Franks are watching from the FYP. Mandy, you've missed it. Also, make sure you guys follow Mindful Mandy. She goes live a lot. She's an amazing medium and teacher. I don't understand either. So anyway, Mandy, you missed it because twice someone named Frank has come in. One that was like, this is nonsense. You're money grabbing. I'm like, we're literally just talking. And then somebody else came in literally asking, saying, we're going to give you $8,000 or whatever. And a scammer guy. Finland is supposed to be the happiest place in the world. I've heard Finland and Denmark, actually. Denmark is one of the happiest places because you don't have to worry about anything. Like society helps take care of everything. It's amazing. And I've not been to Finland or Denmark, and I need to go. Always so tempted to message this guys and see if it pans out. Right. Well, we're waiting for Frank number 3. We're just waiting for everything to happen in 3s. We're going to wait for another scammer Frank to come in or smack talker Frank. We're going to see. We're waiting with bated breath. So what we're talking about, Mandy, is, and you can attest to this, you've seen this. We're talking about spiritual awakenings. And how, if you have not done, how sometimes it can be a slow burn, bring it on. You guys. Okay. Hello, Molly. So my friend, good friend, Molly Ann Frank just popped into Facebook. Oh my God, Molly, you are going to die when I tell you. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. We were just like, we're waiting for Frank number 3 to come in. And then you popped in. I'm not kidding. It's Molly on the boat. TikTok's losing their minds right now, Molly. Because this is crazy. I'm not kidding. And I've met Molly, by the way. I miss her content too. Oh, that's cool, Spirit Junkie. I didn't know that. Megan Flynn, you called it. I miss Molly too. So what happened, Molly, was we had a Frank come in to the chat in TikTok and say, that I'm nonsense and I'm scamming. She is on Instagram and Facebook. She is on the stuff. She does deck dancing and everything. So go find her on the others. And then of course I had to harass Frank, and then Frank got blocked. But then another Frank came and I was like, what the heck is it with the Franks? And then somebody says, watch number 3, everybody comes in threes, like 30 seconds before you came in. Can't make this shit up. And what we were talking about, Molly, is spiritual awakenings. How some people have this their whole life. Some people come into it. Some people go through a slow burn awakening. Some people have NDEs and have like major things happen. Yes, you are 100% better, Frank. You have wrapped up, you put the Frank bow, the beautiful bow on the Frank package. TikTok's losing their mind right now because of it. And I love it. I love it. I'm kind of losing my mind too, actually. But also how when someone goes through an awakening, if they've not done the work, and I did call it, I did say it might be a nice Frank. Didn't I? And it was a nice Frank. I find spiritual awakening come in chapters. Yes, I agree. I agree, Molly. Some people have, like over in TikTok, Megan was talking about how she had an NDE and that was like a switch for her. And some people have major life events that creates this awakening, that triggers the awakening. Good morning, Natural Mystics. Hello. And then some people just have that, like what Molly says in chapters. Frankly, Frank. I love it. So NDE started it for sure in your case. That's right. I forgot, Molly, you went through that too. Totally forgot about that. And the fact that we've been talking about that this whole time, that's amazing. But also, if you've not done the work in the trauma therapy that you've maybe experienced in life, that maybe you shouldn't necessarily, just because you go through a spiritual awakening doesn't necessarily mean, okay, now that you're a psychic, you're a medium, you understand things, you see the dead people, all the things. That doesn't mean you should be out in the wild working. I know, right? Molly says, I'm glad I could stop that Frank crappiness. I'm with you, girl. You're my happy Frank. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning. We're talking about spiritual awakenings and the slow burn versus the bam, here it is. And then people that think that if they have those things happen, that they should just be reading for people, but then also seeing in real time, watching people spiral because they weren't ready for it. And I also started my NDE on a TikTok page like last night about it for the first time. So it's amazing. That's cool, Megan. Okay, I'm going to follow you back. I'm totally following you back. Just so you know, it is actually me following you back. It was meant to be shared. That's right. What if you have trauma from therapy? I was placed in therapy young, and now, see, that's a whole other, how do you deal with that? I feel like there's support groups for people who traumatized by therapy. So true. I was only 3, but I stepped into my real awakening when I hit 50. Yes. The spiral is rough. Yes, it can. You have to work on yourself first. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys for contributing there. Hello in Oregon. I'm going to come to Oregon this summer. It's nice to meet you, Elizabeth. So just kind of keep that in mind. Everybody has their own journey as far as a spiritual journey. We talked about some people never, ever, like Frank. Frank is never going to go on a spiritual journey. We know this. The original Frank. OG Frank it's nonsense. He's a bully. He doesn't care. Until something major happens to him, he's not going to get it. I had doctor stuff as a kid due to my ability parents didn't understand. Yes. So then you got the trauma therapy that comes with that, or the therapy that you need. All right. Gotta go back here. That was me. Gotta go sing. Aw, yeah, with the grandbaby. Have fun, Gigi. Have fun being a good Gigi today. Fred made breakfast, but I think I did work. Love you, Molly. Love you. Visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Why? I don't even know why. Well, now my restriction, I'm restricted for 10 minutes. No clue why. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ginger. Well, that's a bummer. Now watch, everybody's going to leave my room. Well, don't leave. Actually, you know what? I'm being restricted. So on TikTok. So make sure now that you're tapping and sharing, it won't let me appeal it. It just said I'm being restricted, period, for 10 minutes because I've violated community guidelines. Probably for something I said a long time ago. So keep tapping and sharing. So why is my phone hot? Oh gosh, my phone's hot. I know Frank got a little salty, didn't he? They were upset that I talked about Molly's breakfast. That's what it was. I think what they're not going to put me on the FYP is what they won't put me on the FYP. So no new people will see my stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Share it out to actual people, you guys. Don't just hit the link. So share it to friends. It's probably Frank. I'm telling you. It'll just restrict it to my FYP for 10 minutes. But by the time my mom gets here, she should be here anytime, actually. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on how long it took her to get ready. So just make sure you tap and stuff. I've got my tapper going on over here. Anyway, so in conclusion, make note when you're watching people do, whether it's on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, when you're watching people do live readings, pay attention to how they react to other people's trauma. Pay attention to how their vibe. Pay attention to the words. Pay attention to their eyes. You will know if they're triggered because they'll get shifty eyes and they'll blink a lot. Pay attention to how they physically react to someone coming in and maybe while they're doing a reading, having trauma come up and being triggered by that. And see how they handle it. And that is something that I will say, my mentor, Reverend Glenda, and a number of other teachers that I've worked with in doing mediumship has really stressed making sure you handle your own business before you go putting it out there just because you can. Anyone want to finish that sentence? Who wants to finish that sentence? I say this so much, just because we can. I'll wait. Doesn't mean you should. That's right. Oh, hi, Amy. How's it going? Look at you guys pay attention. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that goes back to if everyone can be a medium, then that means literally anyone can be a medium. So that's why it's important for you guys to vet. Yeah, to to watch where you can. And if you cannot watch someone do readings, and I will say, like the Camp Chesterfield people, 90% of them are not on social media. They don't do videos. They don't do interviews. They don't do that stuff. It doesn't mean they're not fantastic mediums. They're some of the most grounded, well-rounded mediums I know. So you can get a good medium that's not on the internet. But make sure you're talking to other people and say, hey, okay, so you had a reading by them. Look, people will give reviews. And and sometimes you don't know. And there are so many. There's so many. Totally lost what I was going to say. Also, the birds quit hitting. After I went out there and called them out, the birds quit hitting the window. But seriously, if you get a chance to watch people do readings or get and listen to them, a lot of mediums, even if they're not on social media, a lot of them, there are interviews. Like maybe they've been on a podcast, or maybe they've been interviewed on TV even. Maybe they've been interviewed by a friend, or maybe they've been in a newspaper. There are a lot of mediums, especially that they've been in the industry for a while. There is a paper trail. There's a trail somewhere with them. And see if you vibe with them. When I just posted something, or I just responded, someone asked if there were any mediums on the north side of Indy in a local kind of group. And a couple people tagged me. And I, of course, responded. I was like, here's my website. Read about me first. And if I'm not what you're looking for, let me know. I'm happy to help you find someone else. I'm happy to put you in front of people that I have vetted that might actually do a better job, that might be a better fit for what you're hoping to get out of a reading. And that's what in my opinion, that's what a true professional. I'm the same way with dance. If someone comes to me and is like, I want to be a professional ballerina, I'm not it. My studio may not be it. We offer great programs. We've got ballet programs. We've got certified ballet teachers. We've got an amazing curriculum, but we don't offer enough hours. We don't offer the homeschool option. There's a lot that we don't offer but I have vetted local people, and there are very specific people I'm going to say, well, unless you want an eating disorder, don't go there. But if you want well-rounded education where your kids are going to feel safe and grow up in a healthy environment, you can go see these people. Oh, thanks, Spicy. And it's the same in mediumship. It's the same in mediumship. If someone comes to me and says, I want you to do trance mediumship and bring my loved one through, I may not be the one. I can do it. I can do trance. But if I don't vibe in that moment, I may not be the one that I may send them to Reverend Glenda. I may send them to a classmate of mine. I might send them or if they want trance healing, that's something I can do, but I'm not working with healing on myself. I might send them to Camp Chesterfield to talk to Reverend Andrew if it's something deeper that I don't feel comfortable doing. That's what a true professional does. A true professional doesn't go, well, screw it, I'll try it. Now that's not true. I did one time, somebody reached out to me and booked me to go to their house. It's someone that was local, wanting to see if I could pick up haunted, if their house was haunted, and or if the spirits were mad at them. And I was like, well, it's not really my wheelhouse, but you're close enough that, you know what, I'm willing to try this out. And then so what will end up being cool is I end up making a new friend. And I had told them, it's not my wheelhouse. So if I get there and I don't pick up what you're hoping that I'm going to pick up, or if we're not vibing, then I'm not charging you anything. It was a good experience for me, good experience for you, but then I'll know a little more what you're looking for. And maybe I can recommend someone that could come and do it. And I might even tag along so I can learn something. But I'm not going to charge them. And that's what a professional does. We know our scope based on our skill set. Absolutely. That's why I love how you practice your honest and will help. I really do try natural, because natural mystics, I think there's just the guilt also that if I didn't provide something, why should I charge for something? if I can't provide that service. But also I understand that spirit will align me with sometimes with things, opportunities that maybe I would not have delved into on my own. And so I kind of owe it to spirit to honor that, step into that if I can, and see what I can learn from it. Hi, Lucy. How are you? Good to see you. It's another good medium right there, Lucy. Make sure you guys follow her as well. Exactly. My mom's here. Isn't that funny? Olive is letting me know that my mama is here. Yep. So that means my show's going to end early today. My mama's here. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll probably go to lunch. I'm starving. But I feel like we had a great discussion today. That's right. Yeah. And I got her fired up early. I'm like, Grandma's coming. Grandma's coming. She's like, oh, we're howling now. We got howling going on. She knows Grandma's here. But also, why is she still barking? My door's unlocked. I'm glad you had to say hi too. Yeah, you're just catching it. Normally I'm on for another 40 minutes, but my mom's visiting today and I'm off work today. So I'm trying to hang out. So hopefully you guys learned some stuff today and that just kind of broaden your scope and feel like you're walking away with feeling a little more empowered and understanding, at what we see and what we, as a teacher, what I look for and what I train my students to do is, to do your own healing work. And Lucy will attest to this as well. You've got to do your own healing work before you step into the space. And that sometimes that is truly, not sometimes, that is truly part of the awakening experience, So thank you all for coming in and joining in and engaging in this amazing conversation. I feel like we all had on all the platforms had great conversations. And hello, Ruth, another great medium to follow. Wait, my dog just ran outside. Hopefully she's out back, ran outside. Beautiful conversation minus the two Franks. even they triggered some good conversation. All right, I better go figure out the situation with my dog. So, because she's losing her mind, she's barking at things. So I'm gonna have to go make sure my mom's good. All right, friends, have a good one. And oh yeah, we're gonna listen to my outro. You guys ready for this? It just cracks me up. All right.
Your time in the realm of the crowned medium is cherished. Her Highness Lorenda Carr encourages you to like, subscribe, comment, and follow on all channels to stay updated on new episodes and offerings.